All right, crypto vlog, November 14th, 2022. I want to say something about the November 11th five-parter. It was like a 3-day vlog, so there's a lot of info. A lot of people didn't watch parts two through 5, so might space them out a little bit more. Uploading them all over a 24-hour period might not have been best. Okay, so again, I have to summarize 3 days of news, which is hard. So there was FUD around crypto.com and Gate. Apparently crypto.com sent 310,000 ETH or 320,000 ETH to, which was approximately $400 million to Gate, and then they, by accident, and then they sent back 80%, which is weird. And then Chris, crypto.com, on Twitter said, oh, it was a mistake because, we don't do it like that normally, but we accidentally sent it to our saved address, an external address, instead of another of our cold wallets. Yeah. Gate sent it back, said, oh, I'm sorry. We think it was a week before or a week after the audit. So, and then CZ tweeted, hey, this isn't right. If you have to send a tweet, you have to send funds either right before or after an audit. It's not a good look. So CZ started pumping the TWT trust wallet narrative, the SFP, and then people knew like Perp and C98 apparently, or DeFi exchanges, or DEXs, or wallets, I think, which was C98. And then today they added Metal. There's a section on Binance for DeFi wallets, check it out. And then there's other DeFi wallets, like small micro caps, not on exchanges, you can check out. That was the meta they ape into yesterday on Sunday. Bitcoin dipped below 16K, then shot above 17K, now it's back to like 16.5. SBF, Sam bank run fraud, came back and said, hey, I'm still alive. Of course, they're still alive. All these guys are out of jail. The only person in jail is Edward Snowden, right? No. Who's the guy from that exchange? Oh yeah, the Torn guy is in prison or jail awaiting trial. And jail is where you go when you're a temporary holding, either before trial or before they release you. So, where they can't book you, then they release you. But if you're in prison, they don't send you to jail for release first. So, maybe mid-trial you're in a jail. Anyway, if you've been in jail, any of my followers, let me know. If you go to jail from prison or only before prison, who knows? Or is jail a holding cell while you're waiting trial? So you can go to prison and back out, or you have to go to jail before prison. Anyway, I'm not the expert here, but some of my followers might be that haven't made it yet. And the other guy, Ross Ulbricht. Dude, I can't believe I donated like ETH, $3,500 when I bought an ETH of that crap when it was $3,500 free Ross. How could they send it to zero? I don't get it. It's a free Ross. It was a scam. I think it was a scam. I got scammed by free Ross DAO. So many scams in crypto. Speaking of scams, FTT was the biggest scam, right? FTX, FTT, which is their token. Special shout outs to people that have been lively on Twitter and the news. Haliflex, Shook Trades, follow them, and Nacho Trades. Some good accounts. Oh, and of course, Tree of Alpha, if you're not already following for the news. I can't keep my arm above this length. I know you want me face to face. You want to be my level, but up here I look like a god, okay? At least up here I'm the captain. Up here we're equal. Up here you're in charge, okay? You're not the boss. Whose viewer is in the boss of them, unless they're like Twitch streamers and they're whatchamacallit, where they do whatever their viewers ask them for tips. Simps. They're like simp leaders. Oh, shoot. I can't go left. I'm gonna have to sit down again. And rest my elbow on my knee. Okay, quickly. Part 1. Hi everyone. Well, good to see you again. Good to see you again, and you again. This is just a better angle, right, than the top angle. Good to see you. So FTT went to 190. It pumped from like 130 to 190 when SBF tweeted, and then back down. It's back down to 130 again, or 135. So there's a lot of volatility going on. Crow went from 8 cents to 5.5 or 3.5 on Bybit. So the two major perp exchanges were Bybit and OKX, and then Gate. If you're still trading on Gate, even with the FUD about the passing the audit by borrowing 320,000 ETH from crypto.com. And then more FUD withdrawals are down, but then Chris said no, withdrawals are working fine. They're just a little slower today than normal. So a lot of FUD. You got to follow the news. You can refresh exchanges to see if withdrawals go down, but it's hard to time when the big Twitter accounts are going to tweet and cause the price to move. Like when CZ was tweeting FUD against Crow, you had to short. If you weren't short, you were crazy. And then they did the AMA, and CZ said he would help out exchanges that are solidly run, but just in a little financial trouble, he would help them out. Obviously, if they're giving massive loans, they're not a good exchange to back. And apparently they were dumping FTT, even though they said they wouldn't harm the market, because he said the call to SBF cost him greatly. Apparently they stopped dumping 2 days later when he called him for a bailout, I think November 8th. Anyway, and then there was no bailout, so the market dumped, of course. So Bitcoin, yeah, bounced to 17. Well, over the weekend it bounced to 18, dropped to 16, then bounced to 17 again. Now it's 16.5. Any other shout outs I want to do while I'm here? Oh, there's a lot of good traders keeping up with the news. In the Evil Eye Discord, there's a guy, I'm not going to name him because I don't think he's trading. He knows a little code. So, but he's in there, the two guys in there. So, anyone else? There's always a shout out to my viewers again. The #1 viewer award goes to, and commenter, Shorjiang, and number 2, I don't know who's number 2 now. There's a new guy, number 2. Okay, thanks. Sorry, I cover the news and the shout outs. Now I lost my train of thought of it. Okay, how to make money. I guess I'll do that. I've talked about it over and over. Get the news. And this is a 3-day vlog, but it's like a 1 day. There's nothing to talk about here. What should I talk about? Well, it's a good place to end, or I can continue. Is there any subjects to talk about? No, I talked about life is hard. Pick your plays wisely. Get in before the news spreads. Well, it's hard if you have a news feed. You're getting in right when you catch the news. So that's the best time. Hey, come on. Hey, don't bark. This isn't a barkathon. This isn't a barking contest. We have one dog howling at the wind. What are you guys doing? So of course the easiest way to make money is catching the news before others. You can do that with a news feed, with bots, scripts, programs, terminals, etc. And what can I say? Carlo gets a special shout out. He's been hot on the news, the Binance wallet section, and talked about Crow, I guess, some other things. Oh, and I guess the new meta is watching the AMAs, or the Twitter spaces, for news from crypto leaders. The pump coins are dump. Elon with Doge pumped from 81 or 8.1 cents to 9.4, and then it dipped to 8.4, and then back up to 9.4, or actually 9.1, down to 8.4, and then back to 9.4, and then wherever it is now, 8.8 or so. So that's it. Sorry, man. Any lessons? It's a weak vlog today. Just to get your mind back in it, okay? Tomorrow's will be better. Lesson was catching the news, getting your bots up, having a good time. borrowing money from people. Never use your own funds if you can help it. And looks like Suzu is becoming a cult hero now. He's back. Do Kwon is also a cult hero. All these scammers. Can SPF become a cult hero? The rise, fall, and rise of SPF, right? We'll see. And I can't believe CZ dumped FTT, even though they said they wouldn't hurt the market, and then down. I mean, that was both a bank run and Binance dumping, but that was like, he's like, no, we didn't short, but you sold. Is that what he meant? He didn't sell or he didn't short? He said he didn't short, but they sold, right? He said he still holds a bag, but he said a small bag, right? We'll see. Words of wisdom. Remember, planning, execution. Planning, execution. Gambling, I can talk about gambling here, but I don't really want to. There's a lot of volatility in all these coins. You can buy dips if you think they're going to keep running. But obviously, getting the news early is the best way. It's the earlier you are, the lower the risk involved. And playing it early versus playing it late. And that's it. Sorry about this vlog. I apologize in advance of you watching it, but you're gonna watch from beginning to end. So unless you watch from end to beginning, like Memento, this video is sponsored by Christopher Nolan. Watch all his videos, like Memento, the video with the upside down stuff that I forgot about, the Batman trilogy, Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises, also Nolan. People like the Al Pacino murder mystery thriller with him. I didn't really like that one. That's just not my thing. Of course, The Prestige. If you haven't seen The Prestige, go watch it. And thanks again to my sponsors and my viewers.